On October 2nd, 1995, a 6-pound, 2-ounce baby boy named Cody entered the world. His life had begun. As he was home, Cody got to know his new room and his new family, and his new life. He met his grandparents. He even met his great-grandparents, and learned that at a very young age that you just don't let men put things together. The new daddy made an attempt at changing your diaper, and Mommy cleansed you in a genuine Tupperware bowl. Everyone fell in love with you, and the thought of anything ever happening to you was inconceivable. Little did we know that our lives would change drastically over the next few months, and our strength and our hearts was put to the ultimate test. The worst day of my life is very clear in my mind. It was January 29th, 1996, when we took our 4-month-old baby boy, Cody, to the hospital because he was making funny faces, which we eventually learned that they were seizures caused by a disease called Lissencephaply, which is a malformation of the brain. That day, our pediatric neurologist came in and she said, "Your son has Lissencephaply," explained what it was, and said he would only live a few months to a year. So I went in with a happy, healthy baby, and I left with a dying one. Lissencephaly is the absence of the gyra on the surface of the brain. Gyra is another word for the word folds. When you look at the surface of the human brain, it looks bumpy. That is caused by the folds in the tissue on the surface. A child who has Lissencephaly has an absence of these folds, which are very important. Children have facial characteristics when they are diagnosed with Lissencephaly. They tend to have a very high forehead, indented temples right beside the eyes, and a very, very small chin, which tends to give them like a look of a double chin. Lissencephaly is considered a migrational disorder, and it also carries the worst prognosis. Children don't tend to live more than a few years, if at all. These children are usually fed by feeding tube, called G-tube or gastrointestinal tube, and some, even like Cody, he's fed with a J-tube, where the tube goes down through the stomach and into the jejunum, which is the first few inches of the small intestine. They have respiratory problems, which may call for nebulizer treatments, a type of medication form that people with asthma have through the mist. They get a medication that dilates the bronchi in the lungs. They may require oxygen. Cody needs oxygen periodically, and they also require pulse oximeters, which monitors the oxygen saturation in the blood. Some kids may also need apnea monitors, which is a monitor that they wear in case they should stop breathing. It'll go off and alert the parent. These kids always have seizures. They have different types of seizures. They have tonic, infantile spasms, and some kids may even have grand mal seizures. Everything the doctors told us about Cody's life became a horrible reality for the family. And all the hopes and dreams that a father has for his son were all of a sudden shattered into tiny little pieces. Many tears were shed during the first few months, but as people told us, God will give you the strength to go on, and He did. Despite the grim prognosis that the doctors gave Cody, Cody has managed to do quite a lot in his 3.5 years of existence. Thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, we were sent on a vacation of a lifetime. Since Cody couldn't wish, I had to wish for him, so we wished for a trip to Disney World. Cody got to meet not just Mickey Mouse, but he got to meet Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, and Tigger. We got to go to Universal Studios, where Cody got to meet the infamous Barney. And on top of everything, we spent Halloween in Disney World. Cody got to go trick-or-treating along with his brother and cousin. They all got to go trick-or-treating in Disney World. So we thought it'd be appropriate that we dress Cody, being the oldest, as Winnie the Pooh. Bailey is Eeyore. That's Cody's little brother. And their cousin Mia is Tigger. One of my dreams for Cody, other than going to Disney World, was to take a trip to the beach. And since I'm from North Carolina, we went down to visit some friends, and we got to go to the beach. And Cody got to see the ocean and the sand for the first time. Since we thought Cody would never live to his first birthday, we have a tendency to make a big deal out of the birthdays that he does have. Cody not only had a first birthday, he had a second birthday, and a third, and we're now working on a fourth. One of the most precious things to me is to see Cody spend time with his little brother. Bailey has turned into the world's biggest helper and the sweetest child due to the lessons that Cody has taught him. One of the biggest days in our lives so far was the day that Cody went to school. We never thought he would live to be 3. That was when handicapped kids couldn't start school, so when he did, we had no clue what to do, but yeah, we ended up sending him to school, and his first day was a big day for everybody. And I'm quite sure that many tears were shed besides mine. It's funny how time can be both your friend and your enemy. We know that due to the many pneumonias that Cody has had over the last few months, that his days are now becoming numbered. We try to live each day to the fullest and take it one day at a time. My family knows that the day Cody leaves this earth will be a very hard day for everybody. But in a way, it'll be somewhat of a relief because we'll know that he is now at peace and he can do all the things in heaven that he couldn't do on earth. Love is precious and life